Okay, hello, welcome back. I forgot how quickly this country gets dark after school starts. So, yeah, from like 6 p.m. onwards now, it's just gonna be dark until it's like 4 p.m. and it's nighttime. But I had this idea of, everyone loves Halloween, so get in the spirit and just to ask people for recommendations for like October, sort of like fall or like little spooky moods for book recommendations, and I got some really good ones. The first one I got was Skullduggery series. It's a kids one, and I have never read it because I'm not British, and it may have made it over to the US at like some point, but like not to my household. So I'm borrowing it from a friend, and they met him, so it's like all signed and cute. Yeah, like as far as a kid's book goes, pleasantly surprised. You would think that it would be worse or that a college wouldn't like it. Great lead. And I think there's like 14 out so far and a 15th coming out next year sometime. So I've been told it does get darker, and since reading the first one, I sort of had like a little deep dive like obsession, and I'm currently on the 6th one now, and I need a little break because Derek is about to mess with my besties. We can't have that. But it's so funny because I'll like talk to my friends like, oh, I'm reading like Skullduggery, and they're like, oh my god, I loved that growing up. So it's really nice to sort of like get their point of view on it and stuff, like what's your favorite book and stuff. A lot of people's favorite books is number 8, so keep you updated on that. But I'm like really excited to see how this goes. I love the concepts of it, like very new, very good, like interesting take on magic and stuff, and like how you could be it and all this stuff. And I think the characters are, a lot of them are really enjoyable. The only grievance I have is all the stupid names, because I'm not good with names and faces, and everyone has this like made up name. So like, Skullduggery Pleasant, he's the skeleton. There's like China Sorrows, and all this stuff, and a bunch of others I keep forgetting, and it's fine. But then some people only use the last name, others use other one, like the full name or the first name, and I'm like, what if memorize like 3 names for people, and they're all like just weird names. I get it's supposed to be funny or like ironic, but like, dear lord. So that's always fun. Like I'll talk about it with my roommate or people, and I'm just like, that one person, I'm like describing it. But I'm at the point now where it's getting a bit darker. I'm excited. This has been a pleasant surprise for being like, oh, it's a kid's book, but like stick with it. And part of me is scared to see how the whole series ends, because I've heard Derek isn't afraid of pulling his punches. So pray for my besties. And the next one I got recommended was My Best Friend's Exorcism, which I knew nothing about. And I looked up the book, and I thought it was like an 80s, like from the 80s. Like full on, I was like, oh, is this like one of those ones where people are just like, oh, it's great, I swear. And you're just like, what decade were you born in again? Pleasantly surprised. It actually is not that old. Like it's within the past 5 years or something. I think last year, everyone freaked out about it. I wasn't there, so like here we are. And I read it actually on Audible, because again, me and my roommate got Audible together, so now we're just like trying to like get through some books, and I was like, why not? I have a lot of walking to do or time to kill, but might as well do that so I can like mix it up, because sometimes you just don't want to sit down with a book and read. Other times I want to clean or cook, and I can just pop it on like a podcast and we're good. And I had such a good response to it. I loved it. It was a little bit funny. There's actually parts that like genuinely freaked me out, and I loved the sort of like take on like exorcisms and like religion and stuff. And it was not necessarily cheesy at some points, Like it really like was, but I feel like it's just playing on the trope of 80s films and like all that stuff and like older stories where it is like really, really cheesy now and all that. But like you do get like a genuine feeling about like, oh, like these friends actually care for each other, like genuine fear and stuff. It's actually like really, really cool. And I was like, damn, I actually like really like this. And I was like, oh my God. And this will make a bunch of sense. Guess who also wrote Horror Store? You guessed it, the same author for this dude. It's like, I forget it, but like probably I'm gonna have to look into them more, maybe in time for next year, because I think they have a bunch of more like horror stuff. Yeah, I completely ran to them this summer, like that one. Came here, same sort of deal. I almost think this is better. But yeah, and what was really funny and cute was in the whole book, the whole thing is supposed to look like sort of like an 80s movies or like very like 80s, which is its own vibe, you know. I loved it. But every chapter is an 80s song and it like relates to the chapter, like the content of the chapter and everything. And Ailey was just like, make a little playlist of it. So maybe, but it's really cute. It had Jenny 8675309, that song. I may have mixed up the numbers. That's a good song. And then I like introduced people here to it because I'm like, this is a classic like American like dad road trip song. And sometimes on her playlist she'll just have it play and she's like, yeah, I kept it because I liked it. And I was like, compliment. Anyways, got sidetracked. I think it's a really good book. There's actually like you actually get genuinely scared with it. There are spooky moments as well as ones that like are really funny or like ironic or play on a bunch of stuff. So I guess if you don't want a full on like one that's just trying to scare you, this is a nice one to have like fun with, you know? And I just think the story to like the characters to like the setup and explanations of everything was really nice. So like fully recommend. And the last book I got recommended was If We Were Villains. Like, who let this happen? Who let this happen? A Little Live, whatever. But like, at least with the American cover, you know what you're getting in for. I thought this was a dark academia murder mystery. And yeah, it was. But there's a comma and an and. Like, she's not done. She's not done with you, and she's not gonna be done with you for a while. I am now gonna be this book's bitch for the rest of my life. If I read Shakespeare, gonna think of her. If literally, I'm not one to reread. We're normally one and done. You know, whatever reason, whether it's good or bad, we just don't really reread. But I wasn't even done with this book, and my brain was like, what if we reread it and annotated certain bits? What am I on? What is happening to me because of this book? So, very interesting. I completely loved it. I was enthralled from the very beginning because there's always the question of what is happening. How did these characters end up where they end up like 10 years later? And she doesn't let you know fully until the very end, but even then leaves the back door open. Pardon me, I just came here for a little bit of spooky, maybe some dark academia vibes, and then maybe a little bit of queer, if we're lucky and we did all of our work that day. She delivered, but wonderful. I like literally read more than half of this book within 24 hours. Like I just could not stop. And you just get sucked in and you just like forget that you're reading a book, which like is crazy. It's been like ages since that has like happened, like properly happened. And I can see why people freaking love this book. Like love it all over TikTok, online, whatever. I see why people annotate it and they're always like, it's like always like top tier. Like, if it's a bar whiskey, it's like top shelf. You know, none of like the cheap shit. Like you're gonna have to get the stepladder to get it. And like, dear Lord, because like you think, oh, Shakespeare gonna be boring. Nah, I was strapped in. Like, I could not escape if I wanted to, because like if I didn't finish it, it would be nagging the whole time of like, what happened, what's gonna happen. And I predicted some of the stuff, but like not on the way it actually happened. Yeah, I like guessed a couple things, but like I was on the edge of my seat. Like, might as well have been Dune. Different, but I was enthralled. Yeah, so when the friend who recommended this, who hurt you? We need to talk. When I'm back in California, we're gonna have a talk. Nothing bad, nothing bad. I just need to sit you down and like, just get your point of view on this. Cause like, I don't think I can read it, accept your recommendation, and like not have to be like, we need to talk. But I think out of all of them, what was it? I think I gave Skullduggery 4 stars, 3 or 4 stars, because it is like a kid's book. I gave The Best Friend's Exorcism, I think 4 stars, and then I gave this one 5 stars. I've never been quicker to give something 5 stars. And I even folded down a little corner of one of the pages. I don't do that. I'm not an intentional spine breaker or any of that, but dear Lord. And I love the cover. It connects really well with the story and like significance and like the stuff brought up and all the characters. And I don't like the weird, almost like Morse codey one. And there's another one with like a skull, I guess reference to like Hamlet. Again, don't like it as much. I feel like this is enough to sort of like pique your interest, but like save for later, like a little striptease, you know? Draw them in, but then keep them wanting. And she does that. And like, it's done that way for the whole book. It's literally amazing. I think I'm gonna have to start cracking on The Secret History, but I'm worried this has set the bar too high. But enough of me rambling about this. They're all really nice. I've completely enjoyed it. It's in my reading week this past week, and I tried to get a bunch of essays done. I've gotten a bit done, but more importantly, one might say, I have finished these really nice books all around. We're gonna carve pumpkins tomorrow. Like, I'm in the mood. Don't have a costume yet, but like, it's fine. I got my Halloween sweater, you know, so it's fine, you know, but I have enjoyed these. If you have any recommendations you've enjoyed this October or anything, comment them down below. Yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Halloween. You guys have fun. Stay safe out there, you know. Until next time, see you.